Hey guys, Kevin here with eTrailer, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install the MORryde X-Factor Crossmember for LRE, RE, and TRE trailer leaf suspension systems here on our 2014 Jayco Pinnacle Fifth Wheel trailer. A lot of trailers today are built pretty much as cheaply as possible, so when it comes to the trailer frame itself, you will start to see a lot of warping. Over time, especially when you're going down bumpy roads, it starts to kind of bend or twist that trailer frame, and what that ends up doing is wearing more on your tires, more on your suspension, especially if you start to make tight turns. It can also kind of give you a little bit of trailer sway just because there's not that much support put into your frame. So MORryde came up with the X-Factor Crossmember, which is a giant beam that's going to run between your hangers or through your equalizers like ours today will do, and it's going to shore up the foundation of your frame and give you more strength and kind of take out that sway that you'll kind of get between the two different beams of your frame. As you can see right here, this one is connected to the equalizer on our trailer. This is a MORryde equalizer. MORryde makes quite a few different styles of equalizers, so you are going to want to make sure that you get the specific fit for your equalizer. If you need help figuring out exactly which style you have, they'll typically put it out on the front. A lot of the newer ones all have either CRE, LRE, SRE, one of those different codes on the front. Now ours are a little bit rusted up. We can't see that. So if you have issues like that where you don't know exactly what it is, go ahead and take a picture and send it in to us via our Ask the Experts link, and we can determine exactly what you have and find the correct crossmember to fit that equalizer. This is a bolt-on installation, so you're not going to have to do any drilling, any cutting, or welding. This is something you could easily do yourself. The biggest issue that you might run into is just lifting your trailer up and then also supporting the axles while you swap out the bolts in the equalizer and get your crossmember put up onto the equalizer. So let's go ahead and show you how I did it. To start off our installation, we're going to first have to remove our wheel on our hanger that we decided to put this on. Now, our neighbor already has a center cross hanger, or equalizer cross member is what I meant to say, going on the equalizers across, and they only ordered one standard hanger style cross member, so there's the option of either putting it on the rear or on the front. I spoke with MORryde, and just from general knowledge from working on these RVs, there's a lot more weight on the back of your trailer just past the axle, so really you're going to get a little bit more of a bend out of that. So it's probably better if you put your crossmember on the rear if you're not going to get all three on your tandem axle trailer. So like I said, we'll go ahead, we'll remove our wheel because we're going to need to get access to that hanger because we're going to pop out our bolt and insert a new wet bolt from MORryde, and that's going to help with our bracket that's going to hold up our crossmember. For our specific equalizer, we do have a specific style crossmember that we're going to be using, and it's going to utilize the same bolts that the equalizer has. That's why it looks exactly like this with the little bracket here. When we do install this, we want to make sure that we have that larger portion of the bracket facing up. If you look at our beam, it's going to have an open bottom on it, so we want to make sure that we leave it that way and that we have this facing the correct way. Now, which side this goes on doesn't really matter because the other side of this beam is going to slip inside of it. If you look at this one, this is the outer, just by the slots that it has right here. And our inner piece is going to have specific little bolt holes. So the slots are going to give you a little bit of movement. You can get the bolts in these holes and then kind of get it snugged down once you have it in the correct spot on here. So this allows you to slide it in to get it in place and then push it back out and tighten down. So we'll go ahead and start by removing the 4 bolts on the inside of our equalizer. All right, we got that loose a little bit. We'll go ahead and take a 9/16 wrench, hold our nut on the inside. And we're getting kind of stuck. If you see yours is as rusty as this one is, you can go ahead and take some penetrant and kind of loosen that up a bit so that way it doesn't fight you as hard. All right, and we'll just keep taking each of these off. Now getting into this top one is quite a challenge. I had to switch over to a 1/4-inch drive wrench and socket, and I had to sneak it up in there because there is a nut on the inside. So you might have a little bit of trouble to actually get on there, but once you are, this will come off real easy. There we go. Now that we have our old bolts out, we can go ahead and put in the new ones. You're gonna have 2 different bolts in your kit. You have these shorter black ones and these longer brass ones. We're gonna use our longer ones in our equalizer. So we'll slip those into place now. And you wanna make sure that you have the bolt head on the inside facing out so that we can torque down the nut once we get these in place. One easy way to get these bolts in is if you have like a adjustable magnetic stick like I do right here. You can put it on the end of that and kind of easily get it in place and just pull your magnet out. Go ahead and throw in our bottom 2, and then we can lift our cross member into place. I'm going to start with my bottom holes here. I'll throw on 2 nuts. You don't have to go all the way down, just get them started. That way you don't have to worry about it coming undone. And now we can do our top bolts. We can go ahead, switch over to our other side, and just repeat the same process with the inner member of our cross member. Now we're going to go ahead and take our black bolts, and we're going to use those in the center here to mount our 2 bars together. Now to do that, we need to get them fully level. Having both sides loose on the equalizers kind of gets most of the way up, but at the same time there's still a little bit here and it's kind of too hard to push with my hand. So what I'm going to do is just take a jack and a chunk of wood, and I'm just going to raise that up until it pushes our 2 pieces fully together. And I might need to move it just a little bit. This wood's kind of giving in because it's a little bit weathered. So we'll slide this a little bit closer. And then once we have this fully lined up, so now it's starting to sync up, you'll see those holes fully exposed. We want to get the closest ones out that we can. So I'm going to get this hole here, and then over on the other side, I'm going to get these 2 holes. And we're going to do that for the top and for the bottom. All right, 1 in, move in, that one in, and go ahead and put these in. And then once we get them in, we're going to go ahead and take our flange nuts that came with your kit and just tighten those down. Get them hand tight for now. We can come back with our socket wrench. And I've already gone ahead and did this same thing on the other side. You're going to want to go ahead and do the same before you fully tighten these down, just so you don't have any issues with it being too tight and not being able to fit the bolt through on the other end. Now we have all our bolts in place, we can go ahead and torque them down. So this is going to include our 8 bolts that are attaching the 2 crossmember pieces together, as well as the 4 bolts on each end that attach it to our equalizer. Well, I think that about does it for today's installation of the MORryde X-Factor Crossmember for LRE, RE, and TRE trailer leaf suspension systems here on our 2014 Jayco Pinnacle Fifth Wheel trailer. My name's Kevin. Thanks for watching.